One of the most often comments that I get from you guys is that, man, your work ethic, the amount of work that you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, is just so motivating. And a lot of you guys also ask me, what motivates you, man? Why are you pushing so hard? Where does that come from? Questions along those lines where you guys are basically trying to work out what pushes me, even on the bad days. And you know, I've had certainly a lot of these bad days. I guess you can call today a bad day. I've kind of hurt myself a little bit. But nowhere in my mind am I thinking tomorrow's going to be a day off. In fact, I'm extra hungry for tomorrow because I just want to get in. In fact, I've just come into the garage now and I thought about doing another session. So a lot of me is holding myself back. That's the trouble I have, is not doing too much. In fact, some of you guys would say to me, I'm doing too much already. But I never have the problem of, you know, motivating myself kind of to do more work. It's motivating myself to do less work. I would hurt myself if I just didn't have those breaks on me. But I want to touch on what motivates me, where the drive is, how the fire is, you know, where's this fire coming from. A lot of you guys know that I'm a nurse. I work in emergency. I've done about 10 years now, and of course over 10 years now of nursing in ED. The reason why I bring that up is, well, being a health professional and working in the environment that I work, you see a lot of unfortunate people. Unfortunate for reasons that we don't even know. You know, 35-year-olds coming in with humongous masses in their belly and basically have months to live. Otherwise, normal, fit people playing footy on the weekends come in and they have diarrhea and blah, 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 and next minute they have this humongous mass and the future is really dark for them. So when you're surrounded by stories like this, not on a daily basis, but I hear a lot of these stories a lot of the time in the last 10 years, you go home, you drive your car home and you think to yourself, how lucky am I? How lucky am I that tonight I have the ability to go to the gym and train? How lucky am I that I can get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and put in some good work? Everything works, all the organs work, nothing hurts. I get to play. I think my career does most of my motivating to me. When you're around people that basically would kill to just be alright and be healthy, it does something to your psyche, man. It really does. My work can sometimes be, you know, hard and, you know, it's hard to kind of keep going some days and you kind of just want to recharge your own batteries. But that's a large part of it. The other thing is, because of this, I always think about time. I think about how old I am. I think about where I'm going to go. When I was a younger guy, man, when I was a teenager, I was convinced I was going to be an NBA superstar. That's all I wanted to do. I watched Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, you know, Paul Pierce, like some of these dudes, Tim Duncan. I watched all these guys and I was like, I'm going to put up so many shots every day. My dad built a ring in my backyard and I was just putting up shots on the daily, you know, just repetition. This is where this daily thing comes from, basketball. And so when that kind of came around, 20, 21 years old, I realized that this wasn't going to happen. If I wasn't the best in the state or in the country at 2021, the likelihood of me being a superstar in the NBA is very, very improbable. Like it's not going to happen. And so around 2021, I decided to basically put all my eggs in one basket and study nursing and try and get a good job there. So I gave that up. And that was a hard pill to swallow. And then throughout my 20s, I kind of just did my nursing, you know, did some more education, kind of specialized in an area and all that sort of stuff. And I've always kind of had anxiety, you know, I didn't make the basketball work. What am I going to do with my life? You know, am I going to just be a nurse for 50, 60 years and retire and that's it? Or is there something else going to be to me? So I've always kind of had this idea that I need to work hard. Whatever I kind of apply myself to, I need to work hard. The years are ticking on, man. The years are ticking on. And so if you're sitting back and you think to yourself, I'm not motivated enough to go to the gym, just remember, time is ticking. I'm 32 and a lot of you guys have kind of surprised by that, but I'm 32 years old. In 8 years I'll be 40. So I've gone from no NBA to 32. What am I going to do with my life? Whatever the thing is, I've always said to myself, I've got to work hard. I do not want to be 40, 45, 50 years old and wondering back in my head, maybe I didn't try hard enough. Maybe I didn't do enough work. So you guys are telling me you're doing too much. I'm thinking to myself, good. I want to do too much. I want to know where the limit is. Because no one's ever achieved anything by doing too little. You want to do too much. You always want to push the needle. You want to be like red line, RPM. You always want to be there because you know where your extremes are. If you push really, really hard and you start getting pains in your joints, you go back a little bit. If you push really, really hard, you get off your diet, you can't eat, you go back a little bit. But these guys who are just minimalists and just train 3 days a week, I just don't see you being a supreme athlete at the age of whatever age with that amount of work. Work brings results. I brought up Mike Tyson in the past, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. If you know anything about these guys, they were workaholics. They did too much. Mike Tyson did 2,000 squats per day. He wasn't a squatter. He could probably squat more than me. He's a boxer. I'm supposed to be a squatter. How is that guy working more than me in the squat? And this wasn't just the only thing he did. He worked the bag. He got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. He went for a jog. This brother worked hard, man. He worked hard. Same thing for Kobe. There's a story that I want to share with you guys. Allen Iverson was another guy that I followed, as I mentioned. They were going head to head. Iverson was with the 76ers. Kobe was with the Lakers. I can't remember who was where, but I think Kobe came over to Philadelphia and they played him after the game. They caught up. They went for dinner, whatever. And after the dinner, they were kind of in the cab, and basically the conversation kind of went like, "Let's hit the club." I said to him, Allen Iverson said to him, and Kobe's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." He's like, "What are you gonna do?" Kobe said to him, "I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna put up some shots." The reason why I'm telling you this story is because these dudes at the top are workaholics. Whenever you think to yourself, you've just finished work, you're feeling lazy, you don't have motivation to go back, understand 2 things. You are blessed that you have health. You are being outworked every single day. Every single day you're being outworked. And number 3, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do with that? If you want to do what everyone else is doing, you're going to be average. In order for you to be super ordinary, if you want to be an extreme athlete, you need to do what extreme athletes do. Don't take my word for it. You need to look up some of these training logs and work out where you stack up against that. If you see what Louis Simmons' boys did, if you see what world record holders did, they're working harder than you, man. They're working harder for you. So I've got 3 things in my mind when I think about coming into the thing. I often watch videos on this platform and I think about how can I improve. My life is surrounded. The other thing is, man, forget about sports. Think about what Navy SEALs and military guys do. These guys are savages, man. Absolutely savages. So I think the large part here is that your minds are just, if you're struggling with motivation, your minds are not in the right space. You need to kind of expose yourself to what extreme people do, what successful people do, and then you will realize what's up. That basically kind of wraps up everything I wanted to say in this video. I'm grateful and I'm thankful that you guys get motivated by me. I love hearing that, because that shows me that I'm doing something that's not normal. I'm doing something that's abnormal. I'm working harder than most average people. But to wrap all this up, by far the most impact on this topic that I have is the health aspect, man. When you see a 30-year-old in his deathbed, that's tough, man. That's really, really tough to see somebody that young with not an extreme life, no drugs, no nothing, just basically, this is it. How do you drive home and go sit on the couch after that, man? I could walk through a freaking wall after that. I want to do 50 million sets. The fire in my belly is insane. This guy's lost his life. I've got mine. What am I going to do with it? What are you going to do with yours? Catch you in the next one.